the new things that I'm doing is the magical approach. And there's a book that I've been reading. It's a book by Jane Roberts, and she talks about the magical approach. And the other approach is, I call it the industrial approach, and it's kind of the standard operating, how people get around in the work world.
It's more of a mechanical approach.
Yes,
like
mechanical.
do this, and again get your reward after you've done all of your work.
Or not at all. Some of us don't really get rewards. We just stop and maybe veg out a while. That's kind of what I do. So the magical approach is to not really work at all. It's more about having an adventure. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to do the magical approach today. And so what I did was I just didn't force myself to do anything on the list. I did some things that felt like I needed to do, like cleaning or something, that needed to be done for whatever reason. And then as the day went by, I got the idea that I wanted to do one of my creative things that was on the agenda, and so I had this feeling I wanted to do it, so I did it then. So
right, and I was thinking about when I used to live in downtown Bellevue. There was a really great theater really close to where I lived, so I would go over there sometimes at 9 o'clock and watch the very first show. A lot of times I was the only person in that theater, and it was great because when I got out of there I felt so free and like I had done something I really wanted to do, and from that point then I really wanted to work, which was kind of opposite of everything I was raised with. Like I was raised with do all this work, toil, and not be happy, and then maybe you can get a little slice of some happiness at the end of it. But I'm like, that didn't work for me.
No, and I think we're definitely trying to get out of that. The thing is, if you're going from your day job to your dream career, you don't want to bring that mentality with you. I was bringing it with me. I was, you're miserable living like that, no matter where you are.
Right, and never feeling really nourished. You know what I mean? Like my soul was always wanting to be nourished with something that felt good.
Yes, something that that you're wanting inside, which you don't really put as the priority of the day because there's not time for that, or that you don't even want to think about what that is.
Yeah, and it goes into all kinds of things, like I couldn't really trust myself. I couldn't trust myself to do what I really wanted to do. And it's just like being controlled. It's like being controlled by the system and the old paradigm, and never felt free.
So also, when you're doing these things that are, our inner guidance wants to do, there's a perfect timing for this.
Right.
And, the synchronicities happen, and the serendipities happen when you're following this. And they don't happen so much when you're following your schedule that's, boring.
Right.
And part of this also is living joyfully, and I don't think you can live joyfully if you're, following your schedule, and it's just what we're trying to get away from.
Well, you feel like a robot.
A robot, yes, and it's frustrating, and part of me rebels.
Right. And you think about animals in the nature, in the wild, they don't follow a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They do what feels appropriate in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And you have to, you don't want to just sit in the front of the refrigerator all day eating either. But that is a reaction to ignoring your true self.
Right.
That's not, maybe different from just, being carefree and doing whatever all day long. It's not like that. It's being focused and feeling for inside what, it's not escape, it's not running away. It's feeling inside what was the next thing to do and doing that.
Mm-hmm. And that's the key, to feel.
Yes.
And not to think.
Yes.
Feel it, because what the world really needs, that famous quote, is more people who have really come alive.
Right.
That's what the world needs. We don't need to often buy more stuff and be a bigger consumer. Like today I was in the mall because I had to go to the Mac store, and it's just like all this stuff everywhere. It's just like we're just raised to be these little consumers, just buy, buy, buy. And I think it ties into nourishment too, because we think we never get enough. I never really felt satisfied until I learned how to feed myself properly and nourish my soul at the same time.
And so that's just a matter of opening up and paying attention and you know, feeding also, you know, you're going to feed yourself positive, uplifting stuff.
Right?
Because we get so much negative feeding.
It's so
you know?
true.
So
And
you've got to balance that out.